Welcome back. In this one we are quickly looking at Nokia stock because Nokia today has been in the red again. Now this is pretty negative, especially with what we have been seeing over the past week and beyond, with the share price being down about 4% over the past 5 days. Now that might not sound too significant, but obviously over the past month things really are taking a big hit, especially from those highs of the month. We are down about 39%. Well, obviously I am not a financial advisor, so please do make sure to do your own research, but in tonight's episode I'm giving my personal opinions on Nokia and what I personally believe that you should do with this stock at the moment. So if you might enjoy that, make sure to leave a like on this channel and of course subscribe if you haven't already. If you want to support the channel financially, you can do that by pressing the join button. It is located next to the subscribe button, but now that I have shared that information with you, let's jump in. Yeah, so Nokia over the past month, well, quite a lot of action with this one. It got that initial spike of hype just, at the start of this 30-day period, which pulled us up about 55% in share price. Now from there, we have literally sold off almost every single day since, bringing us down about 39% from those highs. Is that the worst thing in the world? It's not the worst thing in the world. I think it was bound to sell off for some time, but I would have preferred us to level out in the $4.10-ish range. I think that would have been a much better position. So would I buy Nokia stock right now? Honestly, I think it is one of the lowest points that we have been seeing. I think if you are willing to wait on this one for the next 2 to 3 years, it could be a fantastic buy right now. But obviously for the short term, if I'm looking to get profits in the next few weeks or months, or even in the next year or so, I think it isn't the best buy out there right now. I think it has been falling for some time, which puts it at a better position, and a lot of people have been quite concerned about how much this one has been falling. Honestly, I am pretty concerned as well. It is down significantly, and it did look like it was going to level out at some point, but unfortunately that whole week of negativity for the majority of the market just sped up this sell-off in the share price, unfortunately, bringing us down a little bit further. So now we are down by quite a significant level. If you already own shares in this one, I think it is a tough decision to make what you should do. Personally, I think if you are willing to hold this one for the next 2 to 3 years, if you already own shares, it definitely could double in price, maybe even triple in price. I think it is possible that we could reach $8 in the next 1 to 3 years in this share price, which would of course potentially give you your money back, but obviously that is a long time to wait for that investment back. But it definitely is up to you to make your own decisions, but you could argue, is now the perfect time to cut losses and potentially go into another stock? I think if you'd have bought in only a few cents ago, maybe yesterday for example, or on Friday, I think it's not the worst point to sell off, but maybe if you'd have bought in at those highs, potentially it could be a stock which you should wait on for the next few years. And I know that is frustrating, especially with the amount of people who got into Nokia and what they got into it for, because I know a lot of people got into this one as a hype stock, trying to think that it was going to rocket in price. Unfortunately, it didn't actually do that. It came down just as quickly as it went up, which isn't very fantastic indeed. I think that's not necessarily a bad thing if you are holding it for the long term, and I can see this sell-off ending pretty soon. But I think talking about growth figures, it definitely could double in the next year, but I don't think it is going to happen overnight. I know it is going to take a longer time frame. I know that is frustrating to a lot of people, but it's just what I personally believe. From a fundamental standpoint though, Nokia is a fantastic buy, and if you are looking to buy into this one, I would definitely buy a small position each month as to average out the cost rather than buy it all at once, because it definitely could drop at that point. If you were to, do a dollar cost averaging method, you could definitely get in for a much better price per share than what you could by buying it all at one point, in my opinion. But right now, Nokia is at one of the best price points that we have been seeing. I think it's not the worst buy, but I think it is going to be more of a slow grower. I think at the current price, at the current rate of growth, it is more of a sleeping stock which is going to pick itself up in the next few years. I think yes, that could be a fantastic thing if you're willing to wait it out for that amount of time, but in the meantime you've got to be asking yourself, if you have money to spend on Nokia stock, would you want to spend that on a different stock which could get you some profits in the meantime? I think by the end of the next month or so, I would like to see this one back into the 4-cent range, potentially the high 4-cent range. I think from a fundamental standpoint, like I said, the company's been around for years. It's obviously not going anywhere, but I think the fact that the market was in the red last week just helped Nokia to sell off a little bit. I think if it wasn't for that, this one would have probably leveled out at some point last week, but I would like to see it level out this week and hopefully start to go back up. Like I said though, I don't think it will be up by a significant amount. I think it will be minimal, not the worst thing in the world, but if we can start to turn this one around, fantastic, and that is what I would love to see. Please do tell me what you are doing with Nokia down below. I definitely think it is more of a long-term hold rather than a short-term hold, but I want to hear what you have to say. What are you doing with it? Please tell me down below. Thank you for watching this video. I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye until then.